The Deer Farming Channel is brought to you by Rafter P Construction. Stick around to learn more about Rafter P's design build process and, of course, the biggest deer in the world. MVP Whitetails, Kaufman, Texas. Everybody in the deer industry is talking about this place, and on today's show, we're going to show you why. The whitetail deer is America's favorite big game animal, and whitetail deer farming is the fastest growing segment in the American agriculture industry. Our program's mission is to dive into the world of deer farming and discover why tens of thousands of Americans compete to create the biggest bucks in the world. And by the biggest bucks, we don't just mean the size of the antlers. The financial investment opportunities produced even on small parcels of rural land will blow you away. Join me as we discover how whitetail genetics, deer auctions, animal husbandry, and so much more drive the deer farming industry. My name is Keith Warren, and this is Deer and Wildlife Stories.
All right, I'm Jalen Webster. We're at MVP Whitetails. And what I do out here, I basically just help the family run the business. Here at MVP, we got a little over 700 deer, and we got 43 deer pens on 50 acres worth of pens. We went out when we first came to the industry, bought the best deer we could buy. We bought the quality over the quantity. For when we grew that buck, it would be that elite breeder buck. And that was our goal, always to have the best pedigree deer with the best look we could grow. And we've achieved that goal, as you can see.
You can tell a lot about somebody by watching their children, okay? And I watch the Webster children, and they're polite and courteous and kind and helpful and loving, and they love the whitetail deer. And I think that the values that the Websters have given those children is incredible, and it shows to everybody that knows them.
Having the family so involved is just so much more meaningful and rewarding, and us getting to share time, because the deer business consumes a lot of your time. I really don't know if I would enjoy it near as much if I didn't get to have my family with me most of the time. My son Jalen is so passionate about it. As you can tell in the show, he just loves it, and it's so rewarding that we get to do this together. All our employees are just amazing, and they're dedicated to this business, and they work so hard, so hard. I mean, everybody gets caught up in the pedigrees and the bucks, but none of this would be possible without such an amazing team, and we are so grateful for them.
One thing my dad has instilled in us here at MVP is not only having the best deer and top quality deer, but also having the customer service and doing people right, where people want to do business with you and are excited to do business with you because they know that you'll take care of them.
Earlier in the year, MVP Whitetails even opened up their doors to a high school ag class to teach them about deer farming.
My name is Kayla, and I am a high school agriculture teacher. We brought about 22 high school students that are involved in our ag program. Jade and his hospitality and this team were amazing. They exceeded our expectations. We were not expecting to get fed today or spend this much time here, but I'm so glad that we did. We did not know what we were getting into. We just kind of knew it was a deer ranch. We'd never seen it before, and we wanted to come check it out and learn a little bit. And I feel like we're walking away with a lot more, and even friendships. Right now, the kids are out there playing with some of the guys and Jade's own children. I think we're building a lot more than just an education here.
Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by MVP Whitetails, Dr. Ray Favero's Whitetail Genetics, UVC Power Sports Tractors and Outdoors, Rafter P Construction. For more videos on deer farming, check out the Deer Farming Channel on YouTube. All right, so all summer long, people have been talking about Iceman, okay? And Iceman is this buck that the entire industry is talking about. And I get out here, and he doesn't have any antlers on his head. What happened?
Well, we cut him just because it was getting heavy on him, and we're getting ready to go to TDA, and we just made a decision to go ahead and cut him.
But we got some footage to show you that you're going to see why everybody's talking about Iceman. He's a beautiful buck. And tell everybody about his pedigree and how old he is and all.
Okay, he's a 2-year-old, and we love his pedigree. He's blackjack, unforgiven, freeze frame, voodoo, gladiator, A212. Super deep, super rare pedigree.
You've got partners on him, right?
We do.
Okay, so tell everybody who your partners are and why is it important on a deer like this to have partners?
Well, our partners are Blue Creek Whitetails, Limitless Genetics, and Powerhouse Genetics.
Cool thing about partners, it helps spread the risk, but it also helps you prove the deer out.
Exactly. So proving a deer out is you want to get that deer bred to as many elite, great females as you can, and that's what happens when you get a lot of partners on a buck. They're going to breed the deer, they're going to help push the deer, help promote the deer in multiple states, and you get the deer bred.
And you're going to breed them to the best deer in the industry, the elite of the elite. And that's what people say, well, what does MVP stand for? Most valuable pedigrees. And I mean, when you see the pedigree of Iceman, you can see why. But I want to point out that every single deer out here has a MVP, most valuable pedigree. Seriously, they do. Whether it's a buck or it's a doe or it's a fawn. So who are these other guys in here with Iceman? How old are they?
These are all 2-year-olds in this pen.
Really? That guy right there is, I mean, he's beautiful. I want to point out, as you're looking at these guys, and there's the deer that you're going to see on today's show. I said it earlier, coming here for a guy in the deer business is like going to an ice cream parlor where you got all these different flavors. You can pick whatever flavor you want. You know, you got that deer, that deer right there. I mean, they all look different. They all got different pedigrees, but they're all MVP pedigrees. But who is that real pretty, clean, typical buck right there?
That is Big League. So Big League is just that big, beautiful, typical look that multiple people were asking about and interested in. And big time Whitetails came in and loved him and said, we want to partner on him and move him to our ranch as a true breeder for us. And we're super excited to be a partner with him.
Okay, how old is he?
He's 2 years old. He's a blackjack son.
Really? Look at that. And blackjack being so wide, but look how beautiful he is. He's absolutely beautiful. Okay, again, you said big time came out here. It's all about partners, really. Okay, and I want to talk to you about partnerships. Okay, partnerships are really important in the deer industry, really important. And the reason why is you get to share the risk, okay? And you can get in for less money on a deer too. You got to think about that.
Of course.
Okay, and so what happens is when you have a partner, they're going to help prove these deer out, and you get these genetics all over the country. They go to all these different states, basically representing MVP Whitetails and the partnerships they have, and it helps grow other people's interest in those deer and helps them want to breed it. And so the more people that breed deer like Iceman in their high-end does, the more good offspring you're going to have, and it really just sells itself. All right, so if somebody wants more information about coming to the MVP Whitetails, tell them what they need to do.
They can call me on my cell phone, 214-683-9906, or message us at mvpwhitetails.com.
And again, you can check them out on Facebook too. So right now we're going to go hook up with Jalen because he's going to show me some more monster deer right here at MVP Whitetails. This right here is Jalen Webster. Jalen is the future of the deer industry. He's also Jade's oldest son. So when you come out here, you're going to meet Jalen. If you go to any deer sale anywhere, whether it's Indiana or any place where you see MVP Whitetails, Jalen's going to be there. And I'll tell you something, when I say the future about the deer industry, Jalen Webster knows pedigrees as much as his dad, okay? And MVP stands for most valuable pedigrees. So there's a buck we want to show you right now. His name is Perfect Game. Tell everybody how old he is and what his pedigree is.
So Perfect Game is a 2-year-old. He's blackjack, triple crown, overnight express, shadow, Miss Hemi, which is Horsepower's mama.
And he's absolutely beautiful. Do y'all own him outright or do you have partners?
We have
on
partners on him. We actually have a lot of partners on him. So
okay.
We're partnered with SNS Whitetails Galore, High Roller Whitetails, Cold Springs Whitetails, Phoenix Whitetails, and big time Whitetails.
Boy, that's fantastic. And the reason why that's fantastic, because every one of those partners is going to breed with him, and you're going to be able to see the production out of him for years and years to come. I'm looking at perfect game, and I'm trying to figure out how long those tines are. I promise you they've got to be 16 inches.
They're incredible.
I mean, when you finally get him on the ground, I want to know how long they are, but that's the look that a lot of people are going after. And I mean, you list a bunch of partners that you have, and that's clearly what they're trying to grow. If you want the long tine, pretty symmetrical deer, they got them. You want a deer that looks more like Major League, that's kind of stacked up and I mean massive and just unbelievable, you got them. I mean, you got all different kinds of flavors, but he is absolutely beautiful. That right there is a look that most people all over the country, they say, that's what I want, and that's the reason why people, well, you got a list of partners pretty good on.
Well, thanks, man. We're super proud of him.
Oh yeah, you ought to be. I mean, anybody would love to have that deer in the pen. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's hop over now and let's show some 2-year-old Major League production. Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by Big Time Whitetails and Exotics, LE Fence, Record Rack Deer and Elk Feeds, UVC Power Sports Tractors and Outdoors, and by New Dart. Deer and Wildlife Stories will be right back. Closed captioning is brought to you by Advanced Deer Genetics. Now, I want you to take a look at this pen, okay? These bucks in here are all 2-year-olds, right?
Yes, sir.
And they're all out of Major League, okay? And Major League was a game changer in the deer industry. He literally was. He changed what was going on at this farm, but he changed what's going on farms all over the country because of his genetics and the way he throws. We were up just the other day up in Indiana. The Amish people have been breeding with Major League. I mean, Lester Eicher's got giant deer out of Major League. So it doesn't happen just in Texas at MVP Whitetails. It happens any place that's using that semen. I mean, and that's the cool thing about AI breeding these whitetail deer. Whether you're looking at perfect game or you're looking at Major League, or whether you're looking at any one of the deer that y'all have, you can take that semen and use it anywhere in the country and you can expect fantastic results, and this is living proof of it. I'm looking at all these guys and going, you know, most deer breeders wind up selling their deer they're not going to breed as stockers, okay? And they go to help the genetics in other people's pasture. Your dad told me, like, he has sold so many breeder bucks. In other words, these deer, they're so good, the pedigrees are so good, and the production is proven that these deer right here, a lot of them are being sold as breeders.
He's right. It's true.
These guys right here, imagine what they're going to do between 2 and 3.
Oh, it's be good.
I mean, they're going to blow up, continue blowing up. Right now, it's the middle of August. Okay, these deer are basically done. It's been a really dry summer, and these deer are basically done. But if you want to come out and take a look at deer, don't be fooled by Jalen being only 20 years old, because he is as knowledgeable as any deer farmer that's going to be on the auction floor, I promise you. But most people are going to call up Jade and say, hey, can I come out and look at your deer? But call Jalen too. You can get a hold of Jalen Webster. Give him a phone number.
214-926-8575.
I want to point something out. Jalen and Jade are going to be very modest. They're humble people. And I'm looking at them and thinking, I don't know how they are, because I look at these deer out here and I'm going, yeah, they'll blow your mind. And I'm going to tell you something. You know how many of these bucks that are out here that they're not going to use for breeders here, but other breeders are going to use in the state of Texas? 26. 26. Now, if there's a normal breeder out there, he may have 2, he may have 3 or 4 that he sells as breeders someplace else. But here at MVP Whitetails, they've sold 26 of these bucks as breeders to other breeders. And I think that's just absolutely incredible. So the deer that are not sold as breeders wind up get used as stalkers, and the Webster family has got a hunting operation, and the genetics on this piece of property where they hunt were all shot out years ago, but they're not shot out now. And the reason why is because genetics from MVP Whitetails have gone into this piece of property to be able to improve the quality of genetics, and the hunters can experience an unbelievable hunt here. And so the cool thing about it is that these genetics not just go to the hunting preserve at MVP Whitetails, they sell these genetics to people all over the state of Texas You can purchase bucks, you can purchase does, you can put them in that piece of property, and for years and years and years, you're going to see those genetics just thrive, and it's going to improve the quality that you experience on your piece of property.
Yeah, so this is one of our food plots, and you can see how green it is. This is a soybean food plot. We put a lot of work into this. We actually take the time to fence it off to ensure that it does well so that it benefits the deer. Our hunting operation is really taken off. This is our main clover plot, and we actually started working on this last fall. Our deer are showing it right now. They're growing out amazing. And in conjunction with the clover and the soybeans, we've also got a 15-acre wheat field as a destination food plot that they can utilize. Throughout the mesquites, we got little places carved out with awesome blinds that are super comfortable and very accommodating to the hunter. The bucks that were harvested last year were outstanding. We just got actually the score off the biggest one last year, and it was 350 and 3/8. So it was just a monster. And that was a free roaming, pasture whitetail.
If you're considering building a high fence or wanting to stock your ranch with great genetics, all you got to do is put some MVP genetics in, and you'll have bucks like these in just a few years. Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by Union Hill Whitetails, the North American Deer Registry, New Dart, and the North American Deer Farmers Association. For more videos on deer farming, check out the Deer Farming channel on YouTube. Now some great information on fencing from our friends at LE Fence. So I got the guys over here doing some fence work, and I want to tell you, when you're doing fence work around deer, you need to be dealing with people that know how to not just do fences and do a good job with that, but work around deer. And that's the reason why I've got the folks from LE Fence over here. They office out of Central Texas, but they do fences all over the country. But the one thing that's cool about the guys at LE Fence is the fact that they can come into a deer farm and erect the fence and get done real quick. And they've got a saying at LE Fence, you know when they work to? They work from can to can. So anyway, in other words, they work to get it done, and they're getting it done all in one day here. So last year we showed you a buck out here called High Power, okay, and he was 3 years old.
Yes, sir.
And this is what he looks like right now at 4. Golly, I think he got a lot prettier.
Oh, we love him, man. We're excited about him.
Okay, what about partners?
Yeah, so we got Blue Creek.
Yep.
Limitless Genetics.
Yep.
And Powerhouse Genetics. Okay. And Thunder Creek Whitetails.
Okay, well, I mean, he is awesome. That's High Power.
High Power.
Okay. All right, so let me tell you, there's a buck out here that I absolutely love. I loved him last year, and I love him this year. His name is Cleanup. He's a 3-year-old, and take a look at him. He's absolutely outstanding. And who's the partner on him?
Thunder Creek Whitetails.
And they're from Texas.
Yes, sir.
All right. You know, Cleanup just looks like a bigger, better version than he was last year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you've got semen rights that you've also sold under him, right?
Yes, sir.
And who's that too?
Randy Dowdy from Michigan and Alex Draper, both of them from Michigan.
Good deal. So if somebody, say a Michigan breeder is watching this, what they need to do instead of calling y'all to buy semen, they just get a hold of one of those guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Cleanup is the man. I love that look. So I absolutely love that buck right there. Who is he?
That's Wild Card. Thank you.
Now I can see why people want to partner. And I've heard several different people say they've come out here and said, Jed, I want to partner on that deer. And they said that you really haven't said yes. And why is that?
Well, Keith, it's hard. I mean, we're in the business to make money, obviously, and we like to sell deer, but we've promoted Iceman, Perfect Game, Big League, Cleanup, High Power. You're talking about 5 bucks that we're trying to promote, and we're selling a lot of semen on these bucks. There's only so much room into our breeding program, and I want to really think about how we can promote and market this deer, and I want to make sure that our customers are happy when I bring them on board.
And that's so important, I think, as a deer buyer. You need to know that the person that you're dealing with is very concerned that you're happy, okay? And customer service, I think, is a word that gets overused a lot of times, but when you come out here, you're going to get perfect customer service, but your investment is going to be protected as good as it can be because you've got the Webster family standing behind it. And this buck right here is just a perfect example of that. Wild Card. I love the look of that deer. He is wide, pretty, clean, and he's my kind of deer. So you watch our show, I'm always telling people, start coming out like the 3rd week of July, all the way through August and make your deals. You can't do that with MVP Whitetails. You cannot do that. You have to come out here way early. Tell them what's going on.
Well, by July 4th, we'd sold 11 breeder bucks July 4th, and I just blown away. I couldn't believe it.
And that just tells you how important it is to get out there early as a deer breeder. You want to get it before somebody else does. Okay, and although before July 4th, I mean, the deer are just starting to show what they have. I mean, they've got so much more pushing to do, but the guys that are in the know are making the rounds the end of June, first part of July, and they're making deals. So give them a phone number, how they can find out more information.
214-683-9906.
And they are just east of Dallas, Texas, just out of Kaufman, and this is a beautiful place.
One thing that I'm super proud of and excited about being in the deer farming business is Jalen, as you saw today, is so passionate. This is what he wants to do for the rest of his life, and it's so rewarding and satisfying that we get to share this together and that this will be a job for him for years to come.
I want to tell you something. Your passion is contagious. I mean, your enthusiasm about this business, and it makes me jacked up. And it's like, yes, because I know that the future of the deer industry is in good hands with people that are passionate like you. And so as you go to these sales, and I watch you, you watch your dad, you're a good study. Okay, you pay attention, and you can know these pedigrees better than most men do. Okay, you're now a man, but I mean, you knew them ever since you were a kid because you're passionate about it. And I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you.
I mean,
thanks.
And I'm proud of your parents for doing a good job on all of y'all. I mean, whether it's Jet or Journey bottle feeding the fawns. I mean, I can only imagine in 10 years, Journey's going to be in high school, and she's going to be out here just like you are, helping on the deer farm, and she's going to be as passionate about it as you are. I'm proud of y'all.
Thanks, Keith. I love it, man. I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
Same here. Yeah, same here. If you want to learn more about deer farming, check out the Deer Farming channel on YouTube. Okay, so you've got property and you're wanting to build. Maybe a barn dominium, maybe deer facilities, or maybe a badass lodge. Well, you've got to check out Rafter P Construction. Rafter P Construction is the leading design-build contractor across the state of Texas. Specializing in quality farm and ranch design-build projects, Rafter P Construction encourages their customers to be very hands-on, incorporating your input into every aspect of your project with their in-house design teams. The goal of Rafter P Construction is to be your builder for life. Rafter P Construction, they'll be with you every step of the way to build your dream project, all the while keeping quality and customer satisfaction at the forefront.